Look, let's pick up what Rob was saying in terms of the team selection, because everyone's kind of trying to second guess him at the moment. Is he going to go with 3 at the back? Is it going to go to a back 4? Paul Merson said go for a back 4 against Spain. Is Shaw going to start? Is Trippier going to start? Do you have any idea? I mean, you spoke to the chief yesterday, the boss.
Gareth,
yeah, not you. Did you get a feeling of what he was...
First of all,
Go on.
We've got to give Paul Merson some credit where it's due, because I remember me and you did the squad announcement show.
Yes.
What was it? Almost 2 months ago now.
Yeah.
And I was sitting next to Paul Merson and I was having a bit of a sort of light-hearted argument with him, because he was saying that England were going to win the Euros.
I know.
And I said to him, are you being serious, Paul? If England come up against a side like Spain, you think they'll beat them? And he was said, yeah, why not? So if Paul Merson says England should go to a back 4 and go back to 4-2-3-1, who am I to argue with Paul Merson? He's got a very good point. He knows a lot more about football than I do. But the general feeling is that Gareth Southgate is going to start with a back 3. And it looks like probably it will be Luke Shaw as the left wing back, although I think Kieran Trippier has got a very strong claim for starting in that position as well. I just think his groin issue that he picked up during the first half against the Netherlands may be a consideration. But whatever happens, I would expect to see both those players playing at some point during the game. And obviously, a lot of focus is going to be on them, because they're going to be up against Lamine Yamal, the wonder boy, and behind him is probably going to be Kaveh. So it is going to be a crucial feature of this game, what happens down that left flank. I think Shaw or Trippier, they're also going to have Mark Gahey next to them as well to help them out. And obviously Jude Bellingham has been drifting towards the left quite a lot in the past couple of games, so he will be occupying them as well. I think it'll be really interesting on the other flank as well, because you've got Nico Williams and Mark Cucurella, and there you're going to have Bukayo Saka, and next to him Kyle Walker as well. So you would hope that Bukayo Saka gives them plenty to think about as well. And we've seen in the past couple of games, England have been playing a lot in their opponent's half, and I think that's what they need to do this evening.
Joe, I was reading an article today that actually, whilst everyone thinks that Lamine Yamal is controlling it more on that side, actually more of the balls that go out from Unai Simon is on Nico Williams' side.
Yeah, I mean, Nico Williams has been one of the players of this tournament. We were speaking to Gianluca Di Marzio, the Italian Sky transfer expert yesterday, and he was talking about just how much interest there is in him, especially off the back of how well he's played this summer. I think he's going to be a big, big threat. I think the thing about the Spanish side is, in the past sometimes, they've been a little bit boring to watch, because it's just been possession. People have gone, where's the end product? Well, this side really does have a lot of end product. You've seen all the goals they've been scoring. They've been the best team to watch during this tournament. But England have been the most resilient. They've been the team that's got the sort of strongest spirit. They're really, really united. And even if they are to go behind tonight, you still fancy them to come back and equalise. And I think, was it Jonathan Northcroft in his piece in the Sunday Times today wrote about the fact that in major tournaments, in knockout games, only 3 times have England come from behind to win, and all those 3 times happened in the last fortnight. So it was this team that have done it. Wow. So if England go behind tonight, basically what I'm saying is, don't worry, don't panic, keep calm.
He was also talking, Jonathan Northcroft, I mean, he's written an article about that as well, the fact that Gareth Southgate talked about this as a blueprint. Do you remember when they beat Spain 3-2, I think back in 2018?
In Spain, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. And we were all like, wow, England have beaten Spain, this doesn't happen. And he said there and then, this is a blueprint for the future. Do you think that, things like that, it's like written in the stars?
I think I remember that night. Was it Marcus Rashford and Raheem Sterling played really well as well?
The 3-2, I think, in the end.
I think as well, a really good point that Gareth Southgate made in his news conference last night is, obviously if England win tonight, it'll be an incredible achievement for these players. But he talked about his time as the England manager over the past 8 years and how much all the other players who've played for England in that time have contributed to what is happening here in Germany this summer. So players like Marcus Rashford, players like Raheem Sterling, players like Jack Grealish, players who, you know, you would have thought had pretty strong claims to be in this squad. If England do win tonight, they will have contributed to the win as well. They're part of it as well. They're part of the Southgate era. They're part of the change in culture. And don't forget, you know, players like Marcus Rashford, players like Raheem Sterling have scored really, really important goals for England in the past 8 years. And it was nice touch for Gareth Southgate. He didn't name them individually, but he said it's not just about this squad that is here. It's about all the other players and all the backroom staff and the people who work at the FA and the coaches who we don't see on TV, who don't get that much exposure normally.
Yeah, he is all about the team, isn't he? And about the culture that they've created just doesn't come from him. In terms of their nerves, what do they do? You know what they do on these big occasions, you know, how they calm themselves down. How do they control those nerves today? What do they do in this period now until 9 o'clock here, kick-off?
I think Harry Kane said last night that there will be some nerves, but if you weren't nervous, then, you know, there's something wrong with you. But of course, you know, these are some of the best players in the world. They will know how to control their nerves. They've all played in massive games before. I think 7 or 8 of them have played in a Euro final before 3 years ago. So they've been here, they've done it. Obviously they want a different result to what happened 3 years ago. But I think as far as Gareth Southgate and his backroom staff are concerned, it's just about keeping everything the same as it's always been, the same routine. You know,
like your good self this morning.
Yeah, like me this morning. You know, we've just got to stay focused, not get too carried away. You know, play the game, not the occasion. Try and block as much of the sort of external noise out as possible. And we've seen robs outside the team hotel. You know, hotel in Berlin. Last couple of days ago, it was the hotel in Dortmund. Before that, the hotel in Düsseldorf, Frankfurt, Gelsenkirchen. You know, keep it all the same. England come in to the host city the night before. Gareth and a player go and do their news conference. The players go to the hotel. They rest, they relax. The coach is parked outside the hotel. Fans come and arrive. The players sometimes come out on the day of the game to stretch their legs. Sometimes they don't. During the day, they have meetings, final meetings. Harry Kane talked about the fact that there were still a few meetings they needed to have before this game against Spain.
What would they be talking about in that meeting?
I think he'll be able to be talking about, you know, the final preparations, just going through, you know, their approach to the game, some of the tactics, you know, some of the players. Harry was saying last night, get individual videos of their opponents. So somebody like Bukayo Saka, Kyle Walker, they might get on their iPads videos of Nico Williams, how he plays, Marco Cucurella. So all that kind of information that they need, they will be getting in meetings. But physically, they are, you know, in a perfect state. There's no need to do any more training or, you know, get out on a football pitch. It's all just about controlling your emotions, staying calm and treating it as just another big game. And I wouldn't worry at all that nerves are going to affect these players, because they've pretty much all of them played in an occasion as big as this before. And Gareth Southgate has experienced it himself as well.
I love the activation session. That's something new for this tournament. We've never heard of that before, have we?
Yes, I mean, we've never. I think they've been doing it for a while. Obviously, it's done in private, so we've never actually witnessed it.
I did my own activation session this morning.
But I think what it involves is, if there is somewhere close to the hotel, say a sort of football stadium or an athletics track, or a park, or some sort of green space that is private,
right,
then the players can go there, stretch their legs, and the coaches can maybe walk through, you know, some of the set piece routines, just to make sure, you know, who'll be picking up who, what we'll be doing at corners. I think that is what it is. Okay. But I've never seen it myself, so I can't be 100% sure.
Okay, that surprises me. Look, just finally, I do want to ask about Gareth Southgate and his future, because it's obviously kind of like the big elephant in the room. He's, you know, we spoke to Jonathan Northborough about the article that he'd done on him and said, you know, basically that he'll think about it in the next few days. He's thinking about already, right? That's going through his mind. It must be.
I think he's been thinking about it for quite a long time. I think he was pretty close to walking away from the England job after the World Cup in Qatar. I think he went home, thought about it, spoke to his family, spoke to people close to him, and decided to stay for this Euros. I think that's what he's going to do now as well. I'd be very surprised if there was a big announcement this evening after the game that Gareth Southgate was staying or going. That is just simply not his style. I don't think he'd want to make the story about Gareth Southgate this evening. Whatever happens, I think he'll want to make it about the players. But I would expect him to take a few days to decide what he wants to do next. And I've been saying this for the past couple of weeks. I feel he has achieved, a lot of things as the England manager. Okay, he doesn't have a trophy yet, but I don't think we should be judging England managers by how many trophies they've won, because only one England manager's ever won a trophy, and that was 58 years ago. So if you look at the job he's done over 8 years across not just the England team, but also the development teams, the underage teams, coaching the coaches, being at St George's Park, being an ambassador for the FA, he's done a brilliant job. And I think everybody at the FA respects the fact that it'll be up to him to decide when he wants to go. And I think either way, we'll have to say thank you very much, Gareth. You've done a great job. Good luck in the future. And we know that he wants to be a club manager again. So I think he'll have lots of offers. And I think lots of other countries would like to have him as their manager.
No.
Seriously.
No, but he's not going to do that, though.
Well, if he was offered his, I know sometimes in England people don't appreciate how high his standing is around
I do appreciate that, but there is
the world.
No way Gareth Southgate's going to go and coach Italy.
He will not be short of offers. I don't know. I mean, a country like Italy always want to have an Italian manager, but some of the other big countries, for instance, Roberto Martinez, who's manager of Portugal. Are you telling me that Gareth Southgate couldn't manage Portugal?
No, I'm not telling you he couldn't manage them, but I'm saying he won't.
Well, I'm telling you that he will have lots of offers from big clubs and also major footballing nations.
Right, enough from him.
If he decides to go.
Yes.